What's poppin' YouTube? Everybody here. We're here on The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. So I bought this shit, it was $10. So I bought it, let's say, let's say it's not kind of worth it. It's a good remaster of a 3-year-old game, but we're here. So let's see, we're gonna do the making of, and then we're gonna do the lost levels here. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do, concept art behind the scenes. You can watch, you can do commentary, which is pretty cool. We'll do the last levels here. Jackson party. Ellie's never see attends a party in Jackson. Level is represented in a finished pre-alpha state, reflecting its state when it's original cut from the game. This level does not have spoken dialogue, only music lines and so on subtitles. Okay. Uh huh. What does this mean? Okay, I guess we can start it like that. See what happens here. But yeah, let's see. Levels turns up on finished alpha state. Yep, like the red thing we saw there. Oh wait, there's no audio like it said. It's unfinished. So this is what it looks like. What the hell?
Originally, this level was going to transition us to farm.
Oh, okay,
We would go
okay.
all the way through to the dance, where Ellie and Dina share their first kiss. Then we would play through farm, and when Ellie plays the guitar at night, she would remember the Seth incident. So, the opening for this was a little tricky. We needed it to match at least a little what you might expect emotionally coming from prior beats, because we were already purposefully disorienting you in time and space. Remember, you just came from this huge fight. To jump straight into it would have been a little too jarring. After some back and forth, we rooted it in Ellie's nerves, calling back to her hands shaking in the theater. But this time, for a much more innocuous reason we'll find out later. She's nervous because she has a crush on Dina, who is the only reason why she's here at the dance. Something we really wanted to do was highlight the way their lives had turned upside down since she went down this path. We had this idea of recontextualizing all of our usual gameplay mechanics that were designed for really violent ends.
Oh, this is really
Workbench,
cool.
door bashes, throwable weapons, and even the infected, which is my personal
Whoa.
favorite. Peppered throughout the
Face
level
painting.
are moments of levity or shared history, all the while seeing how happy and mundane they all were before her huge revenge odyssey.
Do bourbon, tequila, or beer? There's some bourbon out here. Wow, look out! It's definitely not finished. There's no drink in the cup. That's funny.
We use our workbench a lot to make a lot of things that kill and maim and hurt people.
Drink
Here, we
station.
had the silly idea of using the same feel, harkening back to the same animations, using the exact same UI to instead fix a drink. Like the workbench, you could pick your base and then you could add something to it. And at the time, we had some different reactions from Ellie based on how strong you chose to make the drink. Something we wanted to prototype though, before it got cut, was picking up some ingredients
We don't hit the
down
kid
to
in the
add,
face with that.
like a lime or maybe a bottle of someone's favorite whiskey or salt, like you were earning upgrades.
Oh,
We also
okay.
toyed with having Ellie carry around the drink
That's
you made
interesting.
and occasionally sip it, psyching herself up to go talk to Dina inside because she's nervous. It got too noodly though, because she would need to keep placing it somewhere before she did anything, so it would have ended up more trouble than it was worth.
Something over here.
There's a hidden spot at the back that was just a bit of fun. It was highlighting Jackson's normalcy with something we would find in a real world. In the back, you would find teenagers finding some alone time with each other in a dark corner of a party. It was rewarding
Okay.
the player for peeking into a hidden corner, but ultimately redirecting them back to the festival. We also had versions of them smoking weed here, despite Maria's consternation, probably having gotten it from Eugene.
Because Eugene liked to smoke that. Alright, here's Marie here. It was actually super cool. Tommy. Oh wow, nothing's loading. That's so funny. Seeing nothing loading in because you never see things like this in games, like lost levels like this. So that was the first one, the Jackson party. Now at the Seattle sewers here, Ellie is swept into the Seattle sewer system. Let's see what this one is. That was pretty cool. Not gonna lie to you, that's pretty cool. So if I'm finished, pre-alpha state, okay. Which one is this one? Oh, this one.
Get off me!
You're searching for what? Okay, oh shoot. You're searching for Abby. Can you get it off me, please? Oh shoot. Let's go. Be careful. Oh shoot. Okay, here we are.
Okay.
Let's see. Let us see. Oh crap. Hey! I do over there. Okay, we'll go right here. Perfect.
Fuck Seattle. Okay. Where the hell am I?
The ladder acts as an immediate goal for the player, but being able to climb out is not going to be so easy. To keep levels interesting and engaging, we alternate between positive and negative values the player experiences. Here, it's a positive to have found a ladder, but then a negative to discover it's not the solution. But then another positive to identify the next short-term goal of the doorway. By alternating between these opposing values, we give players what they expect, but not how they expect it.
Okay, it's not this way. I'm guessing it's this what I think it is. We go like this and then let's see. Oh no, it's not. Can I go this way and then get one? Yep, you can. There we go.
This level, internally known as Find Nora, was quite long in duration as we had to make Ellie traverse a far distance to the opposite side of downtown Seattle. The sewer section was originally longer than what we released the game with, approximately 10 minutes more. This was one of the few areas of the game that used water flow as part of a traversal puzzle. The player has to go upstream to use the current to get to the platform to reach the other side. We mostly cut this mechanic game wide, however it remained in essence in the section swimming to the aquarium as Ellie when you were avoiding the waves.
Okay, we got that there.
When
so
players reach the doorway and enter into the room, they're faced with a dead end. The real reason for this dead end room is that on the reversal, when exiting back out of the doorway, players are faced with the route onwards. A pipe that they'd not been able to see when they were swept past it on the way in, or something that was hidden from view when on the side platforms. The intention here being that the only option is to go off the standard path in order to search for a way out. Throughout the rest of the level, we also used light to indicate to the player that they were heading in the right direction. At each turn, however, we blocked the direct route forward. Players would know that they just have to keep finding alternative paths, promoting those feelings of being desperate and trapped.
I think you climb in there.
The player to consider climbing into small pipes and crouching in these tight spaces. This is to slowly build up to and encourage the player to climb into such small pipes that they'd have to be crawling on their stomach, which is something that the player previously may not have recognised as a playable space, let alone the desired route they need to take. We added a tiny space just to reward the player's exploration with a pickup item, and we made sure it was something that made sense that you'd find in this area. A canister and all the garbage that had been washed into the sewers from the surface. We loved the idea of making Ellie prone through a tiny dirty pipe in order to get out, as it was a great opportunity to use our prone mechanic. A unique camera setup was created to support crawling in these pipes, as the standard prone camera is much higher above the player. We also created custom collision in order for Ellie to manoeuvre in these tight spaces easily. Initially, the oblong collision capsule around her character caused issues crawling around corners. We put extra effort into the custom corner collision so the movement experience is as smooth as the main game. In order for the player to feel cramped, claustrophobic and desperate, we'd been enforcing the traversal mechanics that allow for a tight environment which promote these feelings.
Should we go again?
We introduced the use of the squeeze zone so that we can keep the player feeling enclosed and tight, but without repeating the same geometry. Here we change from low ceilings with wider walls to high ceilings and tight walls to change up the spatial pacing and keep the level from repeating itself. Originally, we had the water line much higher here, so players had to swim through this tight tunnel. However, from watching user test feedback, it was occasionally causing people to discount the route entirely and turn back on themselves. So to avoid any risk of this happening in the final game, we present a lower water level so the tunnel is easy to see and commit to using. Although this isn't as impactful without the prone swim, it's the better decision as it means a smoother experience for the player with no backtracking frustration. As we surface from the water and over the crest of the slope, we reveal what is further in this tunnel. A clicker that sprouted and fungus has grown on the sides of the pipe. It was great to see people who user tested this area becoming increasingly worried as we forced the player to squeeze past the fungus and inches away from the clicker's face, all the time not being sure whether the clicker might be alive or attack them. Although we aren't as cruel as to force a clicker attack in such close proximity, we do have a payoff for this moment. This clicker momentarily turned into Joel to show Ellie's PTSD from what happened to Joel at the start of the game. Ultimately, we decided to save this moment at the farm level, as it was more impactful there because it could become the centrepiece of that experience. Whereas in the sewers, we weren't able to make it as much of a narrative point and give it the breathing room and reaction time that it deserves, given the tight space.
Yeah, we're out of there. That was pretty creepy. Let's go down. And down we go. Let's go.
For the final section, we eventually opened you out into a wider area as you traverse through such tight spaces leading up to this. So changing the environmental pacing makes it begin to feel like we're coming to the end of Ellie's ordeal. An earlier iteration used the current that was shown at the start for a slightly tougher traversal puzzle to conclude the sewers. The ladder was clearly visible from most of the area, but the player was faced with fast-flowing torrents of water they couldn't cross. If the player attempted to jump into the water, they were not able to swim across the ladder due to the water's speed. But instead, they had to traverse the pipe running along the top of the space in order to get across the water. Using this pipe was retained in the iteration we shipped with, as it's the last of the extreme methods Ellie has to undergo in order to escape the sewers, and what she will go through in her pursuit of revenge. The last ladder climb is quite lengthy, and although we could have trimmed it down to a shorter climb, we liked how this last segment of the journey built anticipation for whether there was success at the top or not after all you've been through. Ultimately, the ladder exits out into the subway station, which is how it connects in the final game. Ellie then has to find her way to the hospital from here, crossing paths with the scars for the first time.
That was actually pretty cool. I think the other one was way better though. That one's like way cooler. And last one is The Hunt. Ellie follows a blood trail to a abandoned general store. Okay, here we go again. I don't know, I feel like the Jackson part was a little bit better. That one, That one doing even that one was pretty cool. I don't disregard that one in the game. I would not mind that. Again, it's unfinished pre-alpha state. So this one. Whoa, what is this one?
So the boar hunt was one of the hardest levels for me to work on. It was a huge challenge with the systems that we had, and we kept trying, but it never felt quite right. Originally, the level happened after the Jackson Festival, which also got cut, but before Farm. Once the festival got cut, it became the prologue to Farm. The intended experience is that we jump forward in time after the fight with Abby in the theater. We don't know where Dina is. We likely assume she's dead because she was just bleeding out. Ellie is alone. Her hair is short. So maybe this is the future or the present. And she's hunting. Hunting who? Abby still? In early iterations of the fight, it was more arena-like. The player slowly whittles down the boar's health. Ellie gets more visceral and more vicious. We get a little worried about her. As the boar gets weaker, more panicked, more feral, and we start feeling sympathetic to the boar, was the hope. In all of these iterations, especially of these wider areas, it required custom AI and scripting to make sure it continued to feel organic as an animal, but we really needed it to do specific stuff. It needed to be able to close distances really quickly. It needed to charge to attack, but we wanted the feeling of hunting, so we needed to track it down from afar. And we also needed to discourage the player from attacking the boar when it's that close, or it would kind of turn into this melee kerfuffle. How do we do this in our world while keeping the boar believable? We must have gone through 5 or 6 iterations of the boar fight and all, and every single time it changed pretty drastically. We split it into clear
This is
phases,
cool.
where one was like all long range. We tried another where
Oh
you're getting
shit, here we
close
go.
and you get the jump on it quite
Let's see,
literally. You're
let's see.
jumping off of a rock to attack it. And then finally, we tried a bunch where you almost sort of go around a bunch of trailers and try and wrestle it. We uncovered after some time that taking down a boar over several phases felt very laborious and a little dramatic. It was comically long, it felt too boss-like, a little too gamey. We decided to cut the first few phases, and we opted for a cold open after the boar had already been hurt off screen. So that allowed us to focus on feeling like we're closing in on prey and to introduce the boar when it was at its most dangerous. Already hurt, already feral, much too close for comfort. And so the thinking was it would bring us more into Ellie's mindset. Is this really hunting for food, or is she hunting for some other reason? The gas station was built to highlight the boar's destructiveness. Since it's cramped, the boar feels larger. We also feel trapped with it, or perhaps it's trapped with us. When it charges, it gets to us quickly, so we must be on our toes. This made it more aligned with Ellie's sort of hunting for trouble mindset. Listening became more important, as well as moving around slowly so it didn't hear you. Could you spot it before it saw or heard you? And could you get a shot off quickly enough so you could dodge out of the way? Or is the shot worth the cost after? It feels like a gamble. By the end of the fight, everything would likely be in shambles. The boar would burst through the gap, you and Ellie would follow it and finally enact revenge.
Nowhere to run.
Ooh, literally trying to fight a boar out here. Where is he? Shot him twice in the head. He should be almost dead. Hello, buddy. Where is he? That's my trail. Huh. Where'd he go? Huh? Oh, he's in here. Oh, he's back there. Okay, okay, okay.
The boar kill was supposed to be anything but glorious. With the boar whimpering at the back of the gas station after Ellie's relentless hunt. After...
Oh, I didn't mean to cut it off like that. I thought it was gonna be like the thing. Poor boar, but... This would have been a cool mission, I think. I don't know, because I feel bad for the boar. Yeah. Maybe not. And there it is, guys. All 3 levels of Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. So hope you guys this video. Next episode we'll do the story. We're starting the story, and then we'll do some no return. So yeah, hope you guys this video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Yeah, this is actually really really cool. I love these things, and there's also concept art here you can take, you can look at. You know, I don't know why you can unlock these stuff. Pretty cool. The behind the scenes commentary, the extras. These skins you can buy. I haven't bought these or anything, but you can buy like skins and stuff. But yeah, hope you in this video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. It's Envy and I'm out. Peace.